everyone, I'm Ms. Fazone, and today we're going to be talking about factoring when a is not 1. So a refers to the coefficient of your leading term, so x squared. So previously we talked about factoring using GCF, factoring using product sum chart, factoring using difference of two squares or dots. So here, this is our product sum. Notice the coefficient is a 1, there's nothing there. So those we know how to do. This next term, this next trinomial, while a isn't 1, there's a term there, it's actually a GCF. We can divide everything. So today we're going to be talking about problems where there's a coefficient instead in front of x squared. However, you can't divide by it. It can't be a GCF. So this is the type we're going to factor today. And I like to call this is factor by sliding. There's a bunch of different ways to factor this. Grouping, your teacher might show you grouping using a square. There's a lot of methods, but this is my method. So let's start with just a review of multiplying binomials out. So pause the video and multiply these out. All right, so using the FOIL method, or just think of it as distributing, we have to multiply 5x by both of those terms. 5x times x is 5x squared. 5x times 3 is 15x. Then we have to multiply our bottom term, or our second term, 4. He's going to multiply everything in that parentheses. So 4 times x is 4x. 4 times 3 is 12. We put those middle two terms together. These go together. And we get 5x squared plus 19x plus 12. So in the old problems with the chart, when we factored these, we just had to think, oh, what multiplies to 12 and adds to 19? But because of the 5 being multiplied, it messes with those middle terms, so we can't use that. All right, let's factor the other one. 2x times 3x minus 4, so we get 6x squared minus 8x, and then 5 times everything in there, 15x minus 20. Combine your middle two, 6x squared plus 7x minus 20. And again, there are no integers that multiply to negative 20 minus 7. And even if they did, we have these numbers in front of x squared. So going backwards is a little harder. So I'm going to show you the fastest, most effective way of doing these problems. And I proved it, I promise. To any teachers watching this method works 100% of the time. I proved it to myself using letters. Alright, so whenever you have a trinomial and you can't get rid of that 2 by dividing, what we're going to do is we're going to slide. I'm going to take that 2 and slide it to the 20. So we're going to do a product of not 20, but 40. We're going to multiply to 40 and find a sum for 13. Right, so my product sum, so 2 times 20 is 40. So that's what we need to multiply to. So let's write down everything that multiplies to 40. 1 times 40, 2 times 20, 3 doesn't work, 4 times 10, and 5 times 8. Find the sum of those terms, 41, 22, 14, and 13. We were looking for the sum that gave me 13. It's 5 and 8. Now, when we're just doing basic product sum, all we had to do was plus 5 plus 8. Here's the problem. We have a 2 in front. So we don't know where that 2 is going to go. So what we're going to do, we're going to put it in both spots right now. 2x and 2x. I'm not sure where the 2x is going to be. One of them has to go away. But I know it's going to be one of those spots. Then I'm going to do my plus 5 and plus 8. Now, is 5 times 8 20? No, so we have an extra product, we have an extra 2 in there. So 2 times 2 is 4, 5 times 8 is 20. We need to get rid of a 2 somewhere. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at our 2 binomials. Which one do I have a GCF of 2? Right over here. So I have an extra 2 in that term. We're going to divide it out. And we get 2x plus 5 and x plus 4. And that's your answer. And we're done. Okay. All right, let's try another one. All right, so we're going to start by sliding my 6 to the back to get my new product. So I'm going to do a product of 6 times 10, which is 60, and a sum of 17. So what numbers multiply to 60 and add to 17? So 1 and 60 is a no, so 2 and 30, 3 and 20, be careful, some students like to tell me it's that. But remember, 3 and 20 is 23. 4 and 1, 15. Oh, that's 19. 5 and 12. 5 and 12 do it. So those are my 2 numbers. So now remember, I have an extra, I don't know where my 6 goes, right? There's that 6 in front of x squared, so I'm going to put it in both spots. And then my 2 numbers I found are plus 5 and plus 12. And then I'm going to look, where do I have an extra 6? I have an extra 6 right now. I have to get rid of it. Can I divide by 6? Nope. Can I divide by 6? Yes. Divide by 6. 6x plus 5 and x plus 2. And we're done. Alright, I would like you to pause the video and try this next one on your own. 5x squared plus 33x plus 18, and then 2x squared plus 13x minus 24. So pause the video, try them on your own. Alright, so with this one, again, our product, my product is 5 times 18, which is 90, and my sum is 33. Oh, this one's pretty easy. 3 times 30 gives me 33. So 5x and 5x, not sure where that 5 is going, plus 3 plus 30. Can't do anything there. Those don't have a common term. Those are called relatively prime. So 5x plus 3. And this one does have a common term. I can divide by 5, and we get x plus 6. Now, most of these, it happens that I'm dividing the second one. It doesn't always work like that. It's kind of just a coincidence. All right, number 4. A little harder because we have a subtraction. We're doing a product of 2 times negative 24, negative 48, and a sum of 13. Let's see, 1 and 48 is not going to work. 2 and 24, 3 and 18, 16. Oop, that's it. 4 and 12. So because I'm multiplying to a negative, I need a negative. And then if you want to use 6 and 8. So when we do the sum, we're actually subtracting. So here's my 13. Again, I don't know where that 2 is going to go, so I'm going to do 2x and 2x. I'll do minus 3 and plus 16. I'll do it backwards just for fun. Look for where you have an extra 2. You can divide both of those by 2. X plus 8, 2x minus 3. And you can multiply those out to check that they're correct. It's pretty easy to do. Just check it, see how many I got. Alright, 5 and 6. Again, pause the video and try these on your own. They're a little harder. All right, so we're gonna multiply to 56, right? My product is negative 56. My sum is negative 1. And this one kind of is, you could probably do that one in your head if you really wanted to, because it's just 8 times 7. And then who's negative? My 8. So 8x minus 8, 8x plus 7, divide by 8, x minus 1, 8x plus 7. Okay, so that one was kind of like, you could probably figure these out. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you want to try guess and check, a lot of students like guess and check for these. That's how I learned it. Alright. Slide that to the back. My product is negative 140. My sum is negative 23. I love this problem because it forces you to really use your brain. So many students can do this in their head. You need a method for figuring it out if you can't do that in your head. Let's see, 2 times 70. 3 doesn't work. 4 times 35. 5 times 28. That's it. I have a 28. Now since it's a negative 35, those are my two numbers. Remember, put that 4 in both spots. 4x, 4x, plus 5 minus 28. And then look for any GCFs. No GCF, GCF. 4x plus 5, x minus 7. And we are finished. All right, last slide. Can you tell the difference between factor by grouping or factoring by sliding and factoring completely? Or how can you? So how do we know the difference between these two? One of them is a slide, one of them is not. Always check your GCF. Before you jump into any problem, always check your GCF. Can I divide by 12? That first term. I can't. That's how I know this is a slide. Can I divide by 12? I can. GCF. That's the first thing you need to think of when you do these problems. So this one, we're doing a product of negative 84 and a sum of negative 8. This one, we're going to divide everything by 12. X squared minus x minus 6. So our product is negative 6 and our sum is negative 1. If you try to do this one with a slide, you're going to lose your GCF. Okay, so that's important. So this is 3 and 2. So this one factored is this. This one, let's see, I don't know the answer. Let's see, 2 times 42. 3 times 20 something, 28, 4 times 21, 6 times 1, 14. Oh, that's it, 6 and 14. I want my 14 to be negative. So we get 12x plus 6, 12x minus 14. Now this one's actually a little harder. What do you notice here? Can we divide everything by 12? We can't. So you still have to find the GCF though. What can we divide both of these by? 6. We divide both of those by 6 and we get 2x plus 1. These we can divide by 2. 6x minus 7. So look at the answers. They're very, very different. Alright, so this is factor by sliding. I hope this was helpful. It's kind of a weird method, but it works really, and it's quick. Hope you have a great day.